Hey guys, and welcome back to Baseline Full Court Press, the podcast where women's basketball gets the spotlight, the smoke, and the respect. I'm your host, Patience, and today we'll be getting into some recent news regarding the CBA, the WNBA players, and the WNBPA, which is the Women's National Basketball Player Association. Just a couple of days ago, the WNBPA took to Instagram to make a post stating that roughly 84% of players are prepared to accept the proposed 50% net revenue model, even if that means they get 15% gross revenue. And around 15% of the players want the negotiations to continue. Now, this statistic post was accompanied by another post explaining how they are one, they are a group, and nothing is basically dividing them. Now, this all comes after a letter that was leaked that was from Kelsey Plum and Brianna Stewart, who wrote a multi page letter to the head of the WNBPA Association, expressing concerns about communication and transparency during the CBA negotiations. That letter was leaked, only amplifying the perception of division amongst the players. Now, this is a major problem from a business standpoint. When internal communications become public during negotiations, that changes the leverage. And keep in mind the deadline to reach an agreement on this current CBA is March 10th, which is in a couple of days. If no agreement is reached by then, the WNBA season will be impacted. And in my opinion, the WNBA season has already been impacted. They have not been able to have their expansion drafts, free agency season, trades that come from that expansion draft. Those things have not happened. And now I want to go ahead and get back to that percentage that they posted. Some individuals may see those numbers 80% majority and 15% minority and may think, well, this is a no brainer. Why not just take the deal? And I'm going to tell you why the 15% matters. 80% sounds strong, but in labor negotiations, unity is leverage. The league watches solidarity. Solidarity means a lot in this situation because if they see even minor cracks in the system and division between the players, that is opportunity for them to pounce. That is opportunity because optics matter in this situation, believe it or not. Therefore, furthering the conversation that the house is on fire. This isn't about whether 80% of the players being on board is enough. It is what that 15 to 19% of the other players represents. Now, there's no doubt that 80% is a big number. And it makes you wonder why, if this 80% is willing to take it, why is this other 15 to 19% not willing to take it? Where is this disagreement coming from? Historically, in labor negotiations, those disagreements come from meaning that maybe this deal is better for higher earning players than it is for middle players or lower players. And also risk tolerance. How much am I willing to risk? Am I willing to risk being out of the WNBA season? Am I willing to risk a strike? Am I able to risk those things? Am I able to say, yeah, you know what? It's worth it. I can go 3 months without that paycheck. Are they still going to be able to take care of their needs and their family's needs? I believe that disagreement is coming from those middle tier players. The players who are not signing $1 million deals, but do understand that the CBA is going to be in effect for the next 6 to 7 years. Now, let's go ahead and get into one of the main points that the WNBA's CBA counterproposal emphasizes, and that's going to be the salary cap. The Players Association is asking for $9.5 million in as the salary cap, and the league has counterproposed that with a $5.65 million salary cap. Now, let's go ahead and break those numbers down. At first glance, that does seem like a lot of money, but that only allots for about 1 to 2 supermax contracts. Supermax contracts are going to be worth about $1 million. So that takes about $2 to $3 million right there. And once you factor in veteran contracts, rookie scale contracts, roster minimums, and player trades, there's just not much flexibility left after all those things have been taken out. So, yes, raising the salary cap is significant, but the question is, who does that primarily help? Which brings me to my final point on why revenue sharing is the real story here. If the league if the league is if the league is projected to grow significantly within the next 5 to 7 years, think about how much the WNBA think about how much the league has grown. Think about how much the WNBA has grown over the last 2 to 3 years. And imagine how much further it will grow within the next 2 to 3 years. Now, the CBA is going to be set for the next 5 to 7 years. Meaning that with that salary cap, if the WNBA grows into a $1 billion business, that salary cap will still stay stagnant while the revenue is growing larger and larger and the players are not getting a piece of their pie. The question isn't what the players make today, it's whether the players are positioned correctly for what the league will be worth in 2029 or 2030 as well. This vote is not just about contracts, it's about unity, leverage, and making sure that the players are positioned in the best way possible to grow as the league grows. And whether the players are aligned during this pivotal historical time in WNBA basketball. March 10th is the deadline, guys. Today is the 5th, and I will be posting this video tomorrow. But I will be back on March 10th to go ahead and break down what this all actually means. And thank you guys. And thank you guys so much for tuning in weekly. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok at Baseline FC